Welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Friday, 29th September 2017. I'm Pamela Diaz. The Department of Social Services in the Nevis Island Administration, NIA, in an effort to celebrate International Day of the Older Persons, is hosting their annual month of activities in October. The activities will commence on October 1st and end on October 31st and will be hosted under the theme Stepping into the Future, Tapping the Talents, Contributions and Participation of Older Persons in Society. Deputy Director at the Department of Social Services and over the Seniors Division, Joyce Movin, explained that the United Nations designated October 1st as the International Day for Older Persons. She clarified that due to this international recognition, Nevis celebrates that day and dedicates the entire month of October to hosting activities that celebrates our older persons, or specifically our seniors.
Now in Nevis, we have a semi-packed calendar to celebrate our seniors, and we are starting on October 1st with our church service at the Bethel Apostolic Church in Charlestown, and that would be from around 11 a.m., where we would worship corporately with members of the Bethel Church, and all seniors around the island are invited to attend. And generally, we normally have a lot of seniors coming out on that day, as well as some family members and friends as well. Now, continuing our month of activities, we would have our first morning devotions on Monday, the 2nd of October, and each Monday in the month, we'll have morning devotions on Von Radio from 6 to 7 a.m. Then we have Let's Talk. We'll be on the Let's Talk program on the 3rd, Tuesday the 3rd, from around 8 to 9, and that again is at Von Radio.
The activities will continue on the 4th, where the department will collaborate with the Ministry of Health for a blood testing day in the Memorial Square. Here, persons are invited to get their blood sugar and blood pressure checks. A March for Seniors will be hosted on the 6th of October, starting at the Wesleyan Church and ending at the El Camino Willett Park. On the 11th is the To the Homes with Love event, and on the 17th is the celebrations of centenarians. On the 19th is the Scenic Rail Ride and Island Tour of St. Kitts. The activities will continue on the 27th with a presentation to shut in on Nevis. The 28th is the inaugural Miss Nevis Senior Pageant at the Nevis Cultural Complex, and the activities will conclude on the 31st with a gala and awards ceremony at the Occasions Conference Center. Movin clarified that while the month will be action-packed, the department added new activities slated in this year's activities.
What we have this year, we have the To the Homes with Love. To the Homes with Love, they normally used to go, or usually we would have gone to the Flamboyant Nursing Home and the St. George and St. John Senior Citizens Home in the past years. But this year we are now actually going into the homes of the seniors, into their residences, and we are going to be helping them out on that day. And again, we are having the Miss Senior Pageant, and I know that is generating a lot of interest presently.
The Deputy Director used the opportunity to invite the public to the Thanksgiving service, the blood testing day, the March for the Seniors, as well as the inaugural Miss Nevis Senior Pageant. Earlier today, Flow Telecommunications Network officially launched their Long-Term Evolution LTE network in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The launch took place in Nevis at Happy Endings Restaurant and Lounge at Low Street, and General Manager of Flow, David Lake, presented brief remarks.
4G LTE is to mobile connectivity what broadband internet was to dial-up. It will give our customers an enhanced mobile data experience. It would be as if you were connected to a fixed broadband line with download speeds approaching 50 megs and upload speeds over 10 megs. In other words, it would be as if your smartphone or tablet were at home with a dedicated broadband connection while you are on the go.
Customer Experience Manager Rodell Whitaker listed the key areas that will provide LTE service.
We are starting with just a few sites in St. Kitts and Nevis. These sites are the key sites with data usage at peak. in Nevis. This is the Charlestown area. In St. Kitts, this is the area of Bastia, westbound to West Farm, St. Peter's, Burdock, and Philippe. Please note that LTE will not be available throughout the whole island of St. Kitts and Nevis, but will be in the near future.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Telecommunications, Tourism and Culture, John Hanley, was present and officially launched the updated service.
We anticipate seamless, high-speed, renewable connectivity on your 4G long-term evolution network, and wish you the very best in your new endeavor. Of course, we thank Flo for choosing Nevis to launch this particular event. I wish you warmest congratulations, and we officially launch the 4G network. Persons with LTE-compatible phones are encouraged to visit their local Flow outlet to acquire a SIM card free of cost, which is LTE-compatible, in order to enjoy the updated service. A number of representatives from Flow were present, including Charisma Patrick, Kevin Edwards, and Elliot Prince. On Saturday, October 14, 2017, the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society will be staging its 25th annual Nevis Coastal Cleanup. The island-wide volunteer activity will run from approximately 7 a.m. to noon at various locations throughout the island. Volunteers will clean the debris from wide stretches of our shorelines, borders, and other popular areas in an effort to reduce significant debris from entering our oceans. The Nevis Coastal Cleanup is Nevis's main contribution to the International Coastal Cleanup each year. This event is the world's largest single-day volunteer effort to clean up the beaches and waterways on the island. Each year, as a way to thank the numerous volunteers who participate, we host a small picnic at the end of the coastal cleanup. As it's our milestone anniversary this year, we are anticipating an increase in volunteers. Last year, 300 participants enlisted in the coastal cleanup campaign. We will update you on any other relevant logistics. Still to come, Permanent Secretary of Agriculture is encouraging farmers to plant more food. The details when we return.
Uwali, the queen of the Caribbean, bathed by its crystal shores, is the Caribbean's best-kept secret. Nevis is known for its rich culture, which remains entrenched in the island's everyday life. We boast of having the Caribbean's greatest summer festival, Culturama. The birthplace of Alexander Hamilton, my little 36 square mile island, is the home of the Bath Hotel, which is the first built hotel in the Caribbean. Don't forget to take a dip in the therapeutic Bath Springs. Take a few minutes to trot down to the ever-famous Sunshine's Bar and drink a world-renowned Killer Bee. Live Nevis naturally by exploring the magnificent waterfalls and hiking to the top of our 32 Nevis Peak. Our lush vegetation and landscape deems a visit here the perfect escape. Nevis, Queen of the Caribbean.
Welcome back. Citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis who reported damages to their homes following the passage of Hurricanes Irma and Maria are being encouraged to take advantage of the recently introduced duty-free concessions on the purchase and or importation of building materials to repair the damages to residential properties. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris on Saturday, September 23rd, during his post-Hurricane Maria National Address, first announced the initiative, which runs for a period of 6 months. The government is intent on helping to restore normalcy to the lives of all persons in the quickest time possible. We also hope that the repairs would result in a much stronger and more resilient housing stock in the Federation, Prime Minister Harris said. The duty-free concessions exempt applicants from paying import duty and customs service charge on building materials. Speaking with the press unit in the office of the Prime Minister earlier, Deputy Financial Secretary Mr. Kelvin Edwards said the Ministry of Finance would rely on a list of names prepared by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. However, Mr. Edwards stated that provisions are made to accommodate homeowners who did not report hurricane damages to NEMA. Those persons can still come and fill out an application form. The homeowner will get their contractor to prepare estimates of the damage, and then the building inspectors at the Ministry of Sustainable Development would go out and verify that information, Mr. Edwards added. Application forms are available and can be collected at the Ministry of Finance, the Treasury Department, the Inland Revenue Department, NEMA, or downloaded from the Ministry of Finance's website at www.mof.gov.kn. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Hughie Sargent, is encouraging farmers on Nevis to plant as much as they can as quick as they can. Sargent went on to say that one of the reasons for this is the fact that produce that came into Nevis on a weekly basis have been temporarily postponed due to the impact of hurricanes in some of the Caribbean islands.
We at the Ministry of Agriculture, we want to appeal to our farmers to plant fast and plant quickly to ensure that in the coming weeks and months that we have abundant supply of food here on the island of Nevis. If we look at our neighboring islands, we notice the devastation of Hurricanes Maria and Irma.
Permanent Secretary of Agriculture encouraged farmers to go back into their farms and plant foods that could sustain their families and the island of Nevis.
We had a regular visit by the Dominica boat that provided plantain, bananas, variety of root crops which householders depended on here on Nevis. We have the same ability here in Nevis to produce these crops, and for whatever reason, we've not been producing them over the recent past. And I want to really encourage farmers to go back in their yards or in their farms and plant these crops to ensure that householders here on Nevis, as well as hotels, restaurants, have a safe and quality supply of food here on Nevis.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Hughie Sargent. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Pamela Diaz. Thank you for viewing.